Alright, so today I would like to begin by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahawah, Bashem, YAHAWASHI, Bashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutation to the men that push in this work in sincerity and in all truth. Alright, this is one piece of GMS Trinidad, Brother Kodah. Just come in, to give our vid and pray that it be edifying to the house and nation of Israel. Alright, so to jump into tonight's lesson, right, I also would like to give a testimony, to prove the point of what I'm trying to make. Alright, so tonight's lesson will be evidence or proof that Yahawah hates the prideful man. Alright, because examining the scriptures, you will see that the Lord doesn't have nothing to do with pride. He hates pride. Alright, and this testimony that I am about to give is a testimony where an individual was being boastful, in great pride, and to show how the Lord brought him down through prayers, of the people that he was afflicting. Alright, so to go into the testimony, alright, there was a guy where I work. I came to this new job and I met him here, and he was, at first he was all good and everything, but I later get to realize that he used sly tactics to try to rope people in, right? And when he realized that that's not working, he does turn to basically treacherous acts, and he does view you as his enemy. Alright, now that particular individual, he was one responsible for a lot of people losing their jobs. Alright, which is always running and tell the bosses things about the workers, lying on the workers, and always seeking to make bacchanal on the work. You understand? And when he gets somebody fired, he will be like, yeah, right, one gone, two more to go, and he will even talk to other people and boast about, I get us this one fired and I get that one fired. That is how the individual does move. Alright, and we later discovered that his agenda was to get all the Negroes fired because he's a Elamite. Alright, he's a Elamite. A Elamite goes back to the East Indians. Alright, so his agenda was to get all the Negroes fired, the Negroes and the Spanish that have working here. His agenda was to get them fired by, being an obstacle unto them, and then when they revolt, he go to the boss man or boss woman and complain on them, and basically tell them things like, this person ain't right to work here and that kind of thing. And that is how he does move. Even walking around the grocery saying a lot of wicked things, and trying to get people aroused in anger, because the scriptures say that anger lieth in the bosom of a fool. So he trying to get people aroused in anger so that they could retaliate, so that he could go and badmouth them with the boss to get them fired. Basically laying traps to get the workers fired. Alright, and this is actually the least of the things that this man did. Alright, I could remember a particular Jake woman, right, an Israelite woman, right, she know her work and she does move good with everybody and wherever is the case. And he got this woman and end up making a bacchanal just for the woman to get vexed and end up cursing him out. And he went to the boss and guess she fired. And then her friend, right, he got her fired because she was something like a a sub-manager on the floor. He got her fired to rise his Indian his Indian female partner to the position of the girl that got fired. You understand? And you see where he laying traps for Israel. Alright? Now, he even threatened my job. You know. And you know, being a man of the Lord, you know, our first instinct is to call on YAHAWASHI when we see trouble. You know. So, you know, on my lunch break, I would come up in the lunchroom and I would pray to YAHAWASHI and I would pour up curses on him. You understand? And so forth and so forth. Even I asked the brethren of my camp to pour up curses on that individual. You know? And well, I wouldn't say that I was surprised because we know the power in YAHAWASHI. Alright? What happened is that the snare that he was laying for the workers, he himself fell into it and is now out of a job and is now no longer works in the grocery. You understand? Because the bosses and them, they catch on the weight as he was doing and they fired him. And when he was fired, alright, he started to cry. You know, he started to cry. And then a couple of days after, he called the boss man begging back for his job. You know? And that is to show you, because this man was actually walking around in great pride. Alright? So that is just to show you how YAHAWASHI does look out for his men. Alright? And not only looking out for his men, he hates the prideful man. Anybody acting with pride, they don't have the love of YAHAWASHI with them. You know? So I just want to bring a few scriptures on, you know, proving the point even more. Alright? So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus. Alright? The book of Sirach. 10 and verse 7. It says, pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. And the pride of this man had, this man did a lot of wickedness to the workers. You understand? Complaining on the workers just to get the workers in trouble. You understand? And the pride that was in him, or still is in him, right? He started to commit iniquity. And iniquity against the Lord's servant. You know? Alright? So jump into verse 12. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh. And we know that Yahweh, YAHAWASHI, created all nations. Alright? And he is their maker. You understand? And pride set into these nations because they don't acknowledge YAHAWASHI as their God. You understand? And that is what has have them doing so much wickedness towards Israel. You understand? So verse 13, it says, for pride is the beginning of sin. Alright? Yeah, and there's all kind of sinful acts that this individual, as I said earlier on, was doing. A lot of sinful acts. You understand? He actually trying to get the workers fired. You understand? Think about that. In this hard times where bills are the cost of paying bills skyrocketing, food prices skyrocketing, right? The world actually getting hard, right? You looking to get men fired to boast and brag about it. You understand? And that is great wickedness and great pride. You know? So it says in verse 13, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that have it shall pour out abominations. Yes, sinful acts, hateful acts, because the workers, all the workers turned against this man. You understand? And in the beginning, he seemed so friendly and so subtle. You understand? But in his heart, this was actually a real wicked bastard. You know? So it say, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. And that is what went on, because the pit that he dig, right, it started because where he wanted to head with this pride that he had, it started to go downhill for him. And that was the workings of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Yahweh stepped in and delivered the workers from this wicked man. You know, the Lord stepped in and delivered the workers from this wicked man. You know, so I just wanna have a lot of precepts. So I just wanna go through them. You know, this is Psalms 10 and verse 4. It says, the wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. You know, because I could remember one incident where he did, all right, was the fact that I came to work a day. Now, before that day came, like the day before, a good bit of strong ammonia came into the building, you understand, as to sell off. And while the packet upstairs and probably packet on the shelf or wherever is the case, I came the next day, and all them timing is when he was plotting against me, you know, saying secretly that what this man doing, this man should be fired and all this kind of thing. And I tried my best to do my job. You understand? He even telling lies, all right, and saying how lying on me, saying that don't talk to me, telling other workers don't talk to me because I have AIDS. And I want to know how he know something like that. If something like that was really true, how he know that? You understand? And I now come on the walk and now know this man. You understand? And it shows you that he even lying on the workers of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. You know, the servants of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Alright? So what he did, well, what I suspected that he did, alright, because what he used to do is early in the morning he will mop out the place, and you know, he was really like a kiss ass on the job. You know, so he will mop out the place and you know, them kind of thing. So when I came, I find that where I sit by the bar counter doing my job, I find it was smelling a bit PC-ish, like a PC scent. And that PC scent, you just get that from strong ammonia. You understand? And it is my belief, you understand? Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, if I'm wrong, forgive me. But it is my belief that this man sprayed strong ammonia, right, which part I just sit on, because where I sit on, I started to feel nauseous, and I literally felt like if I was going and collapse, like I was going and fall down, all right? And I could remember getting up from there, because I sit down there about 15 minutes to 20 minutes straight, and then I start to feel real strange, all right? And I get up from there and I went in the toilet. Now, I was actually staggering going in the toilet, trying to keep up myself. You understand? And I thinking to myself, I say, but what is really going on? How that happening to me just so? So, I went to the toilet and I just sit down there trying to catch back myself. But I realized that I wasn't catching back myself. You know, so I asked the boss for some time off to go home, and because I told them I wasn't feeling well. And when I went home, all right, I started to feel normal. I feel real good, you know. And this is the few wickedness that this man used to be doing around the job where I work, you know. So it says here that in the pride of his countenance, he will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in his thoughts. Because I could remember when I now came, I asked him what he God is. And he wouldn't even, he tell me that he not going to tell me the name of his God. When the scriptures say, for us to profess the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi among the heathen. You understand? We ought to boldly speak the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Alright? So, it say here, verse 5, his ways are always grievous, thy judgment are far out of his sights. For as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. Now this going back to Esau, Edom, you understand? But also these other nations too, because that is there is act within that vibration. You know? This is Psalms 59. Psalms 59 and verse 12. It says, for the sin of their mouth and the words of their lips, let them even be taken in their pride, and for the cursing and lying which they speak. And this is the vibration that this man was operating in on the job. Lying on the workers, cursing and getting on in the place, you know. And he was very up there in pride. He was sitting down on a throne of pride, you know. We go to the book of Proverbs. This is Proverbs 8. This is Proverbs 8 and verse 13. It says, the fear of Yahweh is to hate evil. Pride and arrogancy and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. So these things Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi hate. And for Israelite listening this lesson, we ought not to operate in pride, because operating in pride, the Lord will be far from you. You understand? And he will be moved in wrath to consume you. You understand? The Lord hates pride. Alright? And this, what this man did here, this is evidence showing how much the Lord hates a prideful man. Alright? Because he used to get on like if he has strength and you know, everything will go according to his will. That is how he used to get on. But here where Yahweh was saying, counsel is mine, and sound wisdom, I am understanding, I have strength. And that is why we, the people of Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, we ought to lean on Yahawashi for strength. You understand? Because he have everything that we need. Alright? Because when I started to pray about the situation and call upon the name Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi for deliverance from this wicked man, right? I live to see where Yahweh, you know, blessed be the name Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi, right? Yahweh stepped in and delivered us. You know, he stepped in and he delivered us. You know, this is Proverbs, book of Proverbs 11 and verse 2. It says, when pride cometh, then cometh shame. Alright? And as I say, this man was operating in pride. And when he get the axe, so we don't speak in Trinidad, but when he got fired, right, he started to cry, and that was shame. You understand? He felt shameful. He started to cry. You know? So I read it again. When pride cometh, then cometh shame. But with the lowly is wisdom. You know, yeah, with them that serve in YAHAWASHI, they will have wisdom enough to know that you stay away from sin and you call upon the Lord for your deliverance. Proverbs 14 and verse 3. It says, in the mouth of the foolish is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. You understand? Because with the lips of the wise does speak wisdom, the things of YAHAWASHI. That is where the lips of the wise does speak. That is why the strength of Yahweh will preserve them. That is why the Lord will preserve them. And this here is actually a good testimony to show that famine is almost upon us, right? That evil mark is almost upon the nation of Israel. But if we trust in Yahweh and pray, He will make a way out for us. You understand? This testimony is evidence showing that the Lord will make a way where there seemed to be no way. You know? Alright? So this is going back to Proverbs. Salakia. Proverbs 16 and 18. It says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And you see where this individual was operating in pride. And now he's at the pit of destruction. He's jobless, right? The Lord actually teaching him humility now. He humbling himself in the sense of having to come and beg back for your job and still not getting it because the Lord not delivering him from that destruction. You understand? And he actually lies so much because he told somebody here on the job that he got you with a job in the company Shell that does export gas, right? And he does do maintenance on the weekend. And that was a blatant lie, because after he said that, a couple days after, the boss is saying where he called them begging back for his job. You know, he does lie so much. All right, this is the book of Daniel. All right, and this is just an example of pride. All right, Daniel 5 and verse 18. I'll read from 18 to 21. It says, O thou king, the most high Yahweh gave Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, a kingdom and majesty and glory and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nation, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he would, he slew, and whom he would keep alive, and whom he would set up, and whom he would he set up, and whom he would he put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, you hearing this? Was he deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. Yeah, the Lord dispatched angels to take away Nebuchadnezzar's glory and fame and bring him down low. All right? Verse 21, it says, and he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like an oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High Yahweh ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointed it over it whomsoever he will. You understand? So that even goes back to this guy who was operating in pride. He was walking around with his head up in the clouds in this job here. You understand? Because he got a good bit of people fired, you know, by going and bad mouthing them with the bosses. He was up in pride, and now the Lord Yahweh and his son YAHAWASHI is who is responsible for bringing this man low. Right now he is low down to the ground. You know? He's low down to the ground. This is a very great example that the Lord hates pride. Alright? Let me just jump over to Daniel 4 and verse 37. It says, Now this is when Nebuchadnezzar was brought down low. Alright? This is what the conclusion of what he came to when the Lord restored him. You know? This is the conclusion of what Nebuchadnezzar came to. So here we say, Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven. Who is that King? Yahweh Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. That is who that King is. All whose works are truth, and his ways judgment. The Lord brought judgment upon this wicked Elamite. You know? And those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. Kalalal Yahweh Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI Ba'ashem Rakakodash. You know? He's able to abase. You know? So yeah. So being an Israelite, you don't want to put forth your foot into pride. You understand? Because then the Lord, he's going to bring judgment upon you, and you're going to be easily abased. You understand? The Lord hates pride. You know? As in the book of Sirach 10, it says pride is hateful before God. He hates pride. So you know, that brings me basically to my last precept. Alright? In Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 8, it says, What had pride profited us? Yeah, what profit does pride bring? You want to know the so-called profit that pride does bring? It does bring swift destruction and abasement from Yahweh Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. Alright? And anybody acting in pride, they don't have Yahweh with them. Because the Lord hates pride. He hates a prideful man. Alright? And that is why 2/3 of Israel also going and end up having to go through that shame and that death. You understand? 2/3 of Israel going and die by the sword. Because why? The things in Esau's kingdom has brought them to pride, in the sense that they don't want to even hear about Yahweh. You understand? They turn completely away from their own God. You know? Because of pride. Because they believe that Esau, Edom, could, you know, give them the necessary things that they need, that they don't need God. You know? Yeah. Pride is hateful before God. So it says here, Wisdom of Solomon 5 and verse 8, What had pride profited us, or what good had riches with our vaunting profited us? You understand? So yeah, do be in that prideful spirit. The Lord hates pride. Alright? So you know, with that, I just want to give all praises once again, you know, to Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rakwakodash, the king of this universe, you know, who working is great in the land right now, you know. So I just want to give all praises once again to Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rakwakodash, right? Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutation to the men that push in this word in sincerity and in all truth. Brother Kodah saying shalom. Shalom to the next lesson.